i3Connect. I've been asked to come on and just show you a bit about our Aspin 4 touchscreen here and how it can aid in both obviously the usage of the screen, but also the tools within the screen itself from an SEND environment and some of the sort of functionalities and how that can assist in day-to-day teaching. So I'll make a start and just go straight into it. And hopefully it will come across nice and clear over the call. So the screen itself, just without actually showing any of the features on there, one of the main features from a visual aspect is that it's a QLED screen. So the actual visuals on the screen are very, very strong in terms of being heightened and the colours enhanced via the QLED display. From an audio aspect as well, so the two main features of a touchscreen are the visual and the audio. This is a Dolby certified panel. So the audio on it is Dolby certified 80-watt speakers, making the audio very, very strong. And again, if there is hearing impairments, that aids obviously from an audio aspect as well. So we're not straining to hear. So it's nice from the basic functionality of looking at the screen and listening to the screen. You've got two very strong features on there as well. The screens themselves are very robust, so 9Hz toughened perspex, so very, very strong to withstand multiple touches on the screen. So we've got 40 points of touch on the screen, and again, we can encourage pupils to come to the screen and actually use it up close and direct as well. So from a visual impairment side of things, not having to be stood too far away from the screen, we can come right up to the screen and use it in its multi-point of touch as well. Looking at the home screen, the launcher tiles on our system, nice and big, nice and clear, nice and intuitive. And again, visual impairment side of things, we can clearly see what we're looking to operate in terms of functionality. So we've got Whiteboard, we've got a wireless present, we've got a web browser, and we have i3 Learn Hub, which is our cloud-based lesson planning software as well. But the point is they're nice and big, they're not hidden away in the corners here, we're not having to go 2 layers deep to get to a function. So if we want to go into our Whiteboard, which is a very popular function of the screen, we literally hit the launcher tile and we're straight into the Whiteboard feature there as well. Some of the tools within the Whiteboard, just to point out some of the basic features, we can change the colours, we can change the thickness of the pens. So again, we can make things bolder, we can make things lighter, should we need to do so. We can change the background from a white background to a black background by the touching the half moon there. So we've now gone to a blackboard. So this again can be helpful from a visual side of things. Sometimes the white is too glary, so this obviously tones it down. And then we can use a white setting on the pen and make that nice and clear with our annotations that come through very, very bright and very clear. So again, helps with the visual impairment side of things, and it gives you twofold there as well. From a background aspect, we can also bring in added features. So if we are in lesson specific mode and we're in a maths lesson, for example, we could bring in some grid paper here and make it more relevant, but again, also bring it into visual impairment. So again, if we want to work in certain sections, we can do that, and we've got a nice bold background on there as well to stand out, so things don't get merged in as one. If I select the tool on here as well, we can also pinch and zoom on the screen. So if you see very, very easily, we can magnify what's being shown on the screen just by pinching and zooming, just like we do on our phones. So very familiar process. We're not having to think, how does this work? It's like we use on our phones or our tablets. A nice, quick and intuitive tool there to enlarge anything that's on the screen. We can share content out really easily. So we can export it directly to a device. So if you have one-to-one devices for your students, we can export that via a QR code. We can email it out, but literally we can generate a QR code. We can take a picture with our device, and that will appear straight on that device's screen. So again, bringing it right to the forefront of someone's visual aid, we can export content out from the screen very, very quick and easily. A couple of other features that may be of interest in terms of visual impairment on the screen. We obviously have tools. I'll just select a new page here just so it makes it a bit clearer for us. There we go. So we do have a couple of functions within the pen setting. So we have our standard pen, as we've seen, that we can write with. We also have a highlighter. So again, we can highlight features in a different color and it automatically comes up as a different color. And you've got a nice opacity, so we can, again, enhance features on the screen by highlighting over them as well. And we can also have a shape recognition pen. So if we're in a particular lesson talking about shapes and we draw shapes that may not be too clear, we can auto convert it into a nice clear shape, making it more defined as well. So some really quick and easy tools there to aid in the visual side of things as well. One of the other features on the screens, we also have wireless casting. So if we go into the present tab, again, nice and easy to get into there. We can share content from a device up to the screen really nice and quick and easily. And this works across multi-platform as well. So with the Aspin and the Elmar screens here, we can do it via 4 methods. We can use our own casting platform called AllSync, but we have native casting platforms via Windows, via Chrome, via Apple. So no matter whether you're a Microsoft house, a Google house, or you may be using MacBooks or iOS devices, we can share content nice, quick and easily. The device just needs to be on the same network. So I've got my phone here, my Apple phone, and I'm on the same network as my screen. So all I'm going to simply do is open my phone up. I'm just going to scroll down from the top. I'm going to go to screen mirroring on here. And then when it picks up the display, which is, it says Carl's Aspin 4 here, I'm going to select the device. I'm going to put in the AirPlay code, which is being displayed on the screen. And then just give it 2 seconds to connect. And then very quick and easily, I'm now sharing the content from my phone onto the screen there as well. One of the great features about this is that now I've got full control via my phone here. If I actually open the camera setting on the phone, that becomes a mobile visualizer. So really, really good, really handy. So we're here in the office. I can take a picture of a plant, for example. We could very quickly take that picture, open it up onto the screen, and then we've got a very quick and easy defined opportunity there to put a display on the screen. And again, using my device, we can pinch and rezoom. So I'm just doing the same pinch and zoom option. We can really enlarge into that photo. So if we want to focus on that plant there, we can take that in really nice and close as you like, and really focus on there. What we can use over the top is we have, similar to our whiteboard, but as a floating annotation tool, so we can then again start annotating and taking a discussion into this. We have a floating annotation tool there. So again, using a lot of the same features as our whiteboard, we can pick up a particular pen of a certain color. We can change the color nice and easy, the thickness. So if we want a really thick, bold line, we can start annotating over aspects of that photo. I'll change the color. I'm not sure if that came through very well on the screen. We use a red one and just go over that there as well. So we can very quickly, hope that's showing up if I move out of the way, very quickly, again, draw attention and focus in on certain aspects as well. So nice, quick, easy and intuitive. And we can simply close annotation by doing turning the feature off there as well. To disconnect, it's literally a simple case of scanning down again on the phone, deselecting the screen mirroring, stop mirroring, and then we're back to where we left. So again, ways of bringing content closer to your students, but also focusing more on the screen as well. So we can do it 2 ways: casting content to the screen, exporting content out to the devices if we want to, if we need a closer visual aid on there as well. And again, as I said at the start, with the screen being QLED and Dolby audio certified, it's got really powerful audio, nice, everything that is on the screen, whether it's our home screen, we can customize the home screen to add more tiles. So we can have as many as 8 launcher tiles on here. So if you had particular programs that you wanted to use and you needed those to be nice and clear and bold from the offset, we can add more launcher tiles. So we've got the 4 across there at the moment. We can add a tile. We can choose what we want that to be. So this could be an application within the screen. It could be a calculator. So if we want to use a calculator, we can label it calculator, and then we can save it, and we have instantly a calculator tile added. But when we open that calculator, look how large it is on the screen. It's a full screen size calculator. So from the tools side of things, we're not looking at minuscule elements. We're looking at full, in this case, 75-inch calculator with enlarged buttons, and we can very quickly, do our maths on there, and we can get the answers nice and clear coming up on the screen as well. So again, twofold. We can make it easier and simpler to get to the application, but then when the application appears on the screen, it's coming up in a big 75-inch format as well. I'll just show you that again, just as another option. Another thing we could do, very popular in schools, is to add timers onto the screen. So we're no different. We have a clock built into the screen. Again, we could call it clock, but just for time, I'll just put it on there. So then we've got a clock application on there. And again, likewise, it's a nice big timer. So we can have an alarm set, we can have timers on the screen, we can have a stopwatch. So if we want to do a timed exercise, again, nice and easy, huge start button there, big stop button, nice and easy and nice and clear to see that we're running some times on there as well. So I'll reset that there. So just again, some more of the inbuilt features that may appear very sort of basic or common, but actually can be very strong and very powerful in terms of how we're teaching SEN environments to make those magnified and enlarged on the screen as well. You can change the backgrounds on the screen as well. So just to show you, we designed this screen to be as customizable as possible. So again, if we need it lighter or darker, we have, for example, a purple background on here as well. So I'm not sure if that's coming through on the screen very well. But again, if certain colours suit certain environments that we're working in, if it's an SEN environment, it may be that we want a lighter colour or a darker colour, or we can do that very simply by changing between darker colours and lighter colours on the screen. So we've got a full array of dark and light backgrounds on there to aid in the overall appearance of the screen as well. Hopefully that's given you some insight into some of the functions and features that we can use. There's a lot more, but I think, you know, for the purpose of the call, that covers some of the more base functionality, and hopefully you'll get some value add from that. And yeah, I hope that it suits you well. Thanks for your time.